What's up? I'm 3D. This is Tales from the Driver's Seat. 3D Watches Supergirl. I've done a review on Supergirl before, and I kind of want to stick to the same format on that. It was on the Intoxication Nation podcast a few months ago when we last did an episode. I love our scheduling hiatus. But anyway, screw Serenios. Interesting. So anyway, there's a few things I do like about Supergirl and a few things that I don't like about Supergirl, and let me go through them, I guess, in that order. I like the positive message that it sends to girls, young women, regular women, which is, I mean, you do you. You can be anything that you want to be. You can punch bad guys in the face and fly around. No, but it does provide, in my humble estimation, a positive message for people of the feminine persuasion. We grow up in a society where women are basically treated as second-class citizens. Even from a really young age, I was like hyper aware of my privilege. Like, wow, I'm super lucky that I grew up in the United States, or that I am growing up, because I was a kid thinking this. Like, what kind of a boring ass kid thinks this? But I was a kid thinking, I am a white male in a society that favors white males. Like, I'm pretty lucky to be here. I was super aware of my privilege from a fairly young age. Like, you don't have to be a grown adult to see that, like, there are privileges. It sucks less to be to look a certain way, to be a certain persuasion. I don't know why that's jumpy, but I like the message. I like that it's positive, puts a positive spin on things, and I like that she has her own identity, her own personality, and she's not just a literal vagina version of Superman, who for some weird reason is Derek from Teen Wolf. Like, I haven't watched that show in a while, so I don't know, like, how he's free to be. Well, I guess he's not on the show a lot, so I guess that probably explains it. I was thinking, it's like, yeah, it's like Superman, because he's always over there. But he's only been in a handful of episodes. Like, and I bet that's why, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, freaking Teen Wolf's hunky Derek is Superman in a universe that's allegedly shared with the Henry Cavill Superman. No, I don't think so. I think it's probably some kind of alternate universe thing. They really like their alternate universe at DC. They really, really do. But other than that, the fight scenes are good. The CGI is pretty good. CGI in the fight scenes is pretty good. I mean, you have a girl who can fly and punch people into orbit. Oh, look at your puppy. So you'd need to have pretty good CGI to depict that, I would think. So, alright. The guy just ran across the street like a crackhead. Anyway, so that's the stuff that I do like. Well, I guess there's more. I like, hold on, there's more. I like the supporting cast. I think they do really good jobs. I think they were well cast. Ally McBeal is on the show somehow as Cat Grant. She owns the media empire that James Olsen takes over for a while. And I don't know. I guess later Lex Luthor's sister Lena buys it. I don't know. So, like, that's a thing. Yeah, it is a thing. Yep. Anyway, I think that's it. So here's the stuff like that I don't like. I don't like the way the show packages its girl power theme sometimes. It comes off as pandery and convoluted and contrived. A lot of the characters tend to generate their own drama, their own conflict that they have to overcome. And, you know, I guess that's life in a nutshell. But Supergirl was mad at her boyfriend for being the crown prince of a planet that is defunct, virtually non-existent. I mean, it exists, but not very well, because it was bombarded with the radioactive decay of Krypton exploding. So she's from a planet that doesn't exist. He's from a planet that might as well not exist. And somehow it's a problem that he didn't tell her he was the crown prince of that planet. I would be like, eh. It's like it was a pretty crappy planet in the first place. It's part of why he left. The other part is because it was getting bombarded with radioactive decay from Krypton. Makes sense to me, I would think. So yeah, and this is coming from the same person who is friends with someone, or considers herself the friend of someone, and then doesn't tell her that she's Supergirl. So, like, is it lying by omission if you don't tell your good friend Lena Luthor that you're also Supergirl? Like, is it? And she's friends with, like, the Supergirl version of the same person. It's like, why? This makes no sense. That's funny. Then, it just keeps getting better, right? So then, I don't always like the writing. Like I mentioned, you know, with the invented drama to overcome. But it's also that way just with how they package a lot of the stuff. Like, I'm a super big fan of, like, the relationship between Alex and Maggie. Like, it's fun. It's good to have positive representation for an LGBT relationship on television. It's not wrecked with stereotypes and all of that stuff. So overall, it's a really good representation. Like, you know, sometimes the writing is just like, you know, why are, and it's just more of the characters inventing their own drama to solve by the time the show ends. And, you know, some of it is just dumb stuff. Like, Maggie doesn't like Valentine's Day, but Alex loves Valentine's Day. This is gonna get awkward. And then Maggie doesn't want kids, but Alex really wants kids. This is gonna get awkward. It's just super, you know, contrived. I don't like the super schmoopy holidays, but I love the super schmoopy holidays. This is gonna get awkward. And it just does. And then the resolution is dumb because it's always Maggie caving, and it's just horse. It's just horse guano. Anyway. And then there's the tone. And this is probably my last con. The tone in general is good because it comes along with, like, the positive feminine image message that comes along. It's part of that package, but it's not always toned right. Like, especially in season 1, you saw this a lot. You just, like, wait for them to be in a situation where there's music playing in the background. It's like top 40 stuff, but they've just, like, tranked it in the neck, taken out all of the energy, and it's just like, you know, la la track in the background. And it's I'm sure you could find something to play in the background that would fit that. But instead, no, it's like, you know, Fallout Boy or something in the background. It's like, why? This ain't a scene. And it's always like, you know, they always switch out the lead singer with a female too. So just like this super breathy lead singer in the background, sounding like a backup singer. Not that like she's not a bad singer, but it's like, it's just not a lot of energy because it's supposed to be ambience, but it comes across like ambient. You know, I want to go sleep, or get up and make a bunch of Scooby sandwiches in the middle of the night. So, not always great, but it is pretty good, and that's how I want to end my review of Supergirl. Not always great, but it is pretty good. I recommend it. It's a good watch, especially if you're into like the superhero shows and that sort of stuff. But anyway, that's it for me. I'm 3D. This is Tales from the Driver's Seat, 3D Watches, and I will see you in the next one.